What is up, everybody? How we doing? This is the first episode of podcast I've been wanting to do for a while now. Twig Talk. So we're gonna be talking all things hockey, and obviously it's gonna be a little biased around here. We're gonna be talking majority about the Tampa Bay Lightning, but overall, we're here to talk about everything hockey. Savage T, how we doing? Pretty sick logo. Thank you. Thank you. I had a pretty cool, pretty sick person make it for me. But yeah, we're in the preseason. I wanted to start this podcast before the preseason ended. So, we're getting pretty close, so I figured we better start now. I started a little later than I wanted to. We had planned to start a little over a week ago now, because we were gonna start last Sunday. It's Tuesday now, the 3rd of October. We're just a few days from opening day, but the preseason's been pretty exciting. It's been a intense, very intense preseason. I'm actually gonna get a little bit into that later, but let's talk about the first NHL game this preseason. It took place in Australia, which is pretty freaking awesome. That's the first game, NHL game, I should say, in the Southern Hemisphere ever, which is pretty cool. It took place in Melbourne, Australia, at the Rod Laver Arena, and they had over 13,000 people attend the game. They actually played 2 games down there. And yeah, it's pretty cool that the NHL is expanding like that. Being somebody who's from an area that doesn't have a lot of hockey people, that excites me, because that the NHL is expanding themselves like that. Because like I said, I'm from Florida. Not a lot of people even really know what's going on in the hockey world where I'm from. And, you know, just little things like Tampa Bay being one of the better teams now has gotten more following. And even locally, we have, you can tell hockey is spreading here. And maybe that'll start to happen in Australia now that they had a preseason game there, which is really, really exciting. I actually watched an interview with the commissioner, Gary Bettman, where he was talking about how Australia actually has a really strong following, but obviously, like I said, that's the first NHL game that's played down there. They planned on doing this prior, but COVID got in the way back in 2020, so they were never able to get the ball rolling on that, or get the puck sliding. Dad joke for you. Anyway, so yeah, I wanted to kind of break down the first game of the preseason. It was the Arizona Coyotes and the LA Kings. Arizona ended up taking the game 5-3. A funny thing about that game, though, is before there was like puddling, and like the painted lines were getting uneven because the temperature was so high that like the game, they thought they were gonna have to delay the game. But they ended up getting that situated and getting the ice fixed, which was good. But one of the big things was I'm sorry. They had a scoreless first period, and then they had 7 goals. 7 in the second period. Like, what in the world? Like, you know, how... It's almost like they wrote this up, like, because you don't go to a hockey game and see 7 goals scored very often, you know? And for the fans that attended that game, that had to be awesome, you know? Because, I mean, how many hockey games have they attended beforehand? Obviously, Australia has their own national team and everything like that, but I mean, to see the best of the best going at it, that's something special there. And I actually wanted to play a goal for you guys. This is one of the top goals of the preseason so far, and it happened in the first game. So let's check it out. So this goal was scored by Logan Cooley, who's a 19-year-old. We're actually going to dive a little more into him after we watch this goal scored.
He is the longest tenured current Coyote. 3-1 Coyotes dancing. Cooley scores!
I mean, you don't get much better than that.
Cooley comes right back.
Let's play it back
Arizona,
now.
he is the longest tenured.
And I just want to pause it right
3-1
here. So he's got 1, 2, 3 guys on him. Well, 3 guys with sticks on him, and there's a 4th guy sagging on him. And he's falling down and still ends up getting the goal. That's pretty incredible stuff there. So yeah, pretty freaking awesome. I mean, like I said, for Australia to have their first NHL game, and for it to be that exciting, that just gets me excited, you know? Gets me excited for them. But yeah, that Logan Cooley kid, he's 19. And he's from Pittsburgh. So he's an American. And he's out here dazzling the Aussies. He grew up a Washington fan. He's an Ovechkin fan. I did a little research on him just so I could tell you guys a little bit more about him, because I just thought that that play was so amazing, and who knows, like, we're gonna have little Aussie fans, or in the future we're gonna have guys from Australia coming to play in the NHL, and they're gonna be like, oh, who is your favorite player? Oh yeah, this Logan Cooley guy, I got to watch him when I was a little kid. You know, he scored this awesome goal. So yeah, Cooley was he was drafted 3rd overall by the Coyotes in the 22 draft. Imagine the hockey accent with an Aussie accent. Yeah, seriously. Can you imagine that? Like, he's like, "Hi, buddy, you want to go for a little tilly?" That's awesome. That's awesome. But yeah, this guy, he, like I said, like, there's gonna be some kid one day that ends up making it to the NHL. He's gonna be an Aussie, and he's gonna be like, yeah, my favorite player is Logan Cooley, mate. But yeah, Cooley played for the University of Minnesota during the 22, not the mate, during the 22-23 season. And just in that season, he played 39 games and ended up with 60 points. He had 22 goals and 38 assists, which is pretty phenomenal. So I'm excited to see what this kid ends up doing throughout the year. Obviously, he's playing for kind of a garbage team, but you know, with great players playing on garbage teams, you know, sometimes that ends up working out for him, you know. But we'll see what he does. I'm excited for things moving forward in his career, because obviously he's a rookie and he's already dazzling fans internationally. So we'll see. We'll keep up with him, and I plan on making little highlights of certain players throughout the season, I should say, especially rookies and things of that sort, because I don't want to miss out on all the talent that's been coming up recently. One of the guys that has been a huge talk lately, obviously, most of you already know who I'm going to talk about. It's Connor Bedard. He's kind of a freaking monster. If you haven't heard of him yet, you probably haven't really paid attention to hockey lately. Rena, thanks for joining, and I'm happy to hear that you're here to learn hockey things. I will teach you. We're doing pretty good. How are you? I'm glad to see you hopped in. Thanks for stopping by. So this is your first lesson in hockey things. One of the biggest rookies right now is Connor Bedard. He plays for the Chicago Blackhawks, and he's an absolute animal. So the NHL hosts a rookie showcase. I guess they call it prospect showcase now. I don't know if that is new or if it's always been a prospect showcase. But in the prospect showcase, sorry, he scored a hat trick. Now it's like, okay, yeah, it's prospect showcase. He's only playing against other prospects. But still, that's pretty incredible. He ended up shooting a goal on the power play. He got a nice wrister from the circle, taking a toe drag shot that he's pretty famous for. The patience that this guy has is unbelievable. Especially for him being so young, like, the way he can take these toe drags and wait, shoot at the right time, it's like something of that a veteran would have, you know? It's pretty awesome. And yes, Shoresy is a great show. We should watch Shoresy in Discord. I'm gonna make note of that. Yo, don't even, because I am so down. Just the whole Letterkenny universe. We can watch all of it. Alright, that's it. We're not watching Spider-Man 2, even though I've delayed it the past couple weeks. We're watching Shoresy. But season 2 actually should be coming out soon. I'm pretty sure. So we shall see. We shall see. Yeah, but yeah, Connor Bedard, on his hat trick game, he ended up, to be fair, he had a good excuse this week. That's true. Yeah, the movie night that I was gonna do Sunday, my trainee ended up getting in a crash. It wasn't his fault. Everybody's also okay. Figured I'd clear that air before you guys asked. He actually was driving, and there's like a 90-degree turn, and the person coming from the opposite side just decided to turn, but come in our lane head on and rammed right into us. Like I said, everybody's okay. But yeah, that's why we couldn't do our movie night this past weekend. Yeah, I was super late because obviously we had to wait till somebody came to work the crash, but the person coming was coming from the opposite district. So, and then while they were en route, they were like, hey, I got rerouted to another call. I'll be there when I get there. Okay, good. Thank you. So I'll just wait then because I can't leave. So, back to Bernard. He got a power play goal. It was awesome. Like I said, he did his little toe drag, which is nasty. The second goal he had was on the power play, and it was from like the nastiest angle. Like it was so sharp that it was almost like a 50-50 if it was gonna go in, but he ended up burying it. He ended up getting his third goal just from absolutely phenomenal puck movement by the Blackhawks. He ended up getting it center ice and just freaking slinging it in there, which was pretty great. Like I said, it is just the rookie showcase, prospect showcase, whatever you want to call it. But his ability really is undeniably great. The way he shifts defenders when he's handling is like I said, it's like he's been doing this for years. It's really cool to watch. The other thing is he's playing for the Blackhawks. There's no Taser, Jonathan Toews. There's no Patty Kane. Is he gonna be the next big thing in Chicago? Yeah, probably. However, there's another problem. It's not just there's no Taser or Kaner. It's there's no, Corey Perry is on Chicago Blackhawks now. So they have the Corey Perry curse. If you're not familiar with the Corey Perry curse, 2020, he played for the Dallas Stars. In the Stanley Cup Final, the Tampa Bay Lightning won the Stanley Cup Final against the Dallas Stars. 2021, he played for the Canadiens against the Tampa Bay Lightning. The Tampa Bay Lightning beat them in the Stanley Cup Final. 2022, he played for the Tampa Bay Lightning against the Colorado Avalanche in the Stanley Cup Final. The Colorado Avalanche beat the Tampa Bay Lightning. So, sorry, Hawks. The curse is your problem now. Okay, we got rid of Pears. He's one of those guys where, like, other than the Corey Perry curse, you love to have him on your team because he's an absolute menace. But you hate him if he's not on your team. It's just like the Rat in Boston. I mean, I know for a fact, and I have a great hate for the Rat. However, if he played in Tampa, I would probably be like, hell yeah, this guy's awesome. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, it's kind of like, well, what do you do? You know? So, off of rookie things, just and the rookie showcase, I should say. We've had preseason, and it has been one of the craziest preseasons I've ever seen. It's been so physical and so intense, and the games have been like I swear I've been watching the Stanley Cup Finals. Like, these guys are out here blocking shots, like taking shots to the freaking neck. It's been ridiculous. Another thing is there has been a gross amount of fights. I gathered a few that I want to watch with you guys, but I also added 2 fights that are kind of okay, but they ended up having they included the Tampa Bay Lightning, and like I said, this is a general hockey podcast. However, we're biased here, okay? I'm gonna be the first to admit it. I mean, look at the hat I'm wearing; it's clear. There were great fights tonight. The Janot fight was incredible. The game overall tonight was pretty good, which we're gonna go over later. But yeah, let's get into the fight, shall we? All right. So the first one comes from the Lightning.
Knocked down there.
This is Watson.
Here come the Predators. 3-on-3 down the left, but behind the play.
Good thing about this fight is he's actually used to be a Nashville Predator. He gets back to Nashville and fights.
He and McCarron knocks off, or got his own helmet knocked off. It ends up on the ice.
Like I said, the Tampa ones, they're not the greatest, but I had to throw them in there. Okay. So now we're gonna go on to the Bauer fight. This is awesome. Okay. First, actually, I want to go back. Watch how all of them are confused. Like, oh shit, somebody's fighting. And then this is a great tilt right here. This is a giant that Bauer decided to throw hands with. He's really trying to make a name for himself in Winnipeg. And trust me, he does.
This is a statement from Tyrell Bauer, the former Seattle Thunderbird, as he switches up, and he's heavily outsized in this one, but he's holding his own.
Yeah, he's throwing some freaking haymakers in there. Like I said, that kid's trying to make a name for himself in some kind of way. And hey, sometimes throwing hands is the way to do it. Honestly, the Watson fight, or Watson, I should say in general, Austin Watson, he's been dropping the gloves a lot, and I feel like that's his way of saying, all right, I'm here to stay, you know, like keep me in the NHL. Don't throw me down to the AHL. I'll be a 4th liner if I have to, you know. And here's the Baby Hagues fight. Sorry, there's no audio. Some of these clips are a little weird. Yeah, they were actually absolutely throwing bombs. Unfortunately, the only clip I could find of this fight was this shot. There's another shot from this corner up here that has the full fight, but for some reason I couldn't find it when I was collecting clips. But we'll watch it again. As you can see, this actually all started because of Kucherov, of course. He ended up chirping at somebody. They ended up shoving him, and then he shoved them back, and then he came over and flipped whoever this was. That They were already at a boiling point over here. And Hagues is swinging for the fences, dude. I love it. I love it. He has been vicious lately, and it's been awesome. And then we got a big boy fight coming up next for you. It's going to be Johnston versus Rempe when it was the Battle of New York. Throwing body shots. Even the announcers say this is a big guy battle.
An advantage for the Ranger. Remke had no helmet for Johnston, so those punches are going to hurt a little more when they land. Let them go. One guy 6'7". How big's Johnston? 6'5".
And then the refs breaking up. And again, like I said, this is this is preseason, y'all. Now we got Middleton and Kessie. This game was not on TV, but luckily a fan filmed the fight, and it's not bad. And this is a pretty good one. Both helmets are off. And I don't know if y'all could see it, but they were throwing little jabs in there too that will do some damage over time. Like, you know, they have them by the collar and they're jabbing each other that entire fight, which is pretty awesome.
Nick Ritchie's gonna drop the gloves with
This
Josh
is Nick
Dunn.
Ritchie and Josh Dunn.
Ritchie drops the right hand, grabs the jersey of Dunn with a left. Dunn holding on to the collar of Ritchie with his left. They're at arm's length and they can't reach the head. The helmet of Nick Ritchie comes off, and then he pops the
And
helmet.
then Dunn's is right off after
Another
that.
one. And now at arm's length, still waiting to throw. Dunn comes back across on Ritchie. Now they've got each other in tight. It's the jersey grab, and Dunn pulls the jersey.
And those are the fights that I got for you guys for this week. I figured you guys would enjoy some of those. So all those fights I ended up getting from hockeyfights.com. If you're interested in just watching hockey fights in general, they actually log them throughout the season, and it's actually kind of handy for something like this. So most of the time, or most shows, I'm gonna have a fight segment. If there's a good one, I'm gonna play it on the show. And fisticuffs, that announcer with full boxing. Exactly. My favorite part is how he likes how the guy did the jersey pull. Like, he got really excited about that. Because honestly, I get excited when somebody does it. But I like when they do it fully and they get the jersey over somebody's head and then they're still wailing on them. Because, I mean, that's embarrassing. Let's be honest. But yeah, so that's where we're at with the general NHL stuff for today's show. But I do have some glorious pictures I want to show you guys before we get started with the Bolt stuff. Okay. I don't know if you guys are ready. Punches flying is always good action. That's a fact. But also, this is really good action. I don't know why, but so this is Mikhail Sergachev, this is Nikita Kucherov, and obviously they're living in Tampa. You gotta go fishing, right? But for some reason, these awkward ass Russians taking pictures, smiling with giant bass is kind of hilarious. I love these two guys too. They're like they're two of my favorites, that's for sure. So I thought that was really freaking funny. But yeah, I wanted to go over the Bolts preseason in general. But so I had planned this podcast like a couple weeks ago when some of the stuff I had was old news. So that's why it's kind of been mixed match, because I threw out some of the stuff from that one because, like I said, it was old news. I still wanted to go over, like, you know, the first NHL game in Australia and stuff. And then I ended up deciding to do the Bolts preseason just in the game on Saturday, because that was a really good game, and we had some big boys debut in the preseason, which was pretty fun to watch, you know. They've had a pretty good preseason so far. They've only lost one game, I believe. They'll be wrapping up the preseason this Saturday against Florida, the Florida Panthers. They played tonight and won 2-0. And like Savage said earlier, they had some pretty good fights tonight. Watson fought again tonight. I believe Hagel got in a scrap or two, but nothing ended up being a 5-minute major for Hagues, I don't think. Watson definitely got a 5-minute major. So did, oh my gosh, his name is blanking me. 84. Tanner Janot. Jesus. I couldn't think of his name. Yeah, so, those two guys are, yeah, Tanner, exactly. Those two guys I think are going to be, pretty big, fighters for us this season, which is good. You need that. So we'll see how it goes. We'll also be playing Florida for the next two games. The next game's Thursday. They also have their last preseason game on Saturday night, which I'm excited to watch. Is that bad? Is what bad? Fighting? No, we need fighters. Fighters are... So, fighting in hockey... Oh, wait. What? I'm confused. Being against Florida. Oh. No. We beat them tonight, so that was good. And I like the Florida team's rivalry. Like, it just, it kind of pumps me up. And that rivalry has brewed and brewed and brewed ever since I became more of a serious hockey fan, which is pretty awesome. And when they played in the 22 season in the playoffs in round 3, that shit was intense. We ended up beating them in the Stanley Cup, or I'm sorry, the Eastern Conference final, which was freaking sweet. But we ended up, like I said earlier, losing to Colorado in the Stanley Cup final. Young ZP! Thanks for the subbage, dude. Sorry there's no, you know, fireworks and explosions for you. I don't have any of my sound alerts set in for the podcast stuff. I'll have to figure out something for that. But for now, it's just a thank you, and you fucking rock. How about that? How you doing, dude? Good to see you. It's cool. I'm just happy I made it on time. Oh, you're late. You're late. No, I'm just kidding. Well, you made it in time for the Tampa section, even though you abandoned us and became a Seattle fan. We still love you, though. It's okay. Ish. Yeah, exactly. On time-ish. So Tampa's down to 26 skaters in training camp now. They started with over 35, so they're getting down to the nitty-gritty on who they're gonna keep, and so far they're finding some diamonds in the rough. One of the guys I'll be focusing on tonight's show, which is Alteri Morella. Actually, I just said his name wrong. The pronunciation is kind of weird. But he's a 25-year-old Finnish forward. He actually played in the Finnish Elite League. He played for 5 seasons for the Pelicans, and he just signed a 1-year, 2-way contract with Tampa Bay this year. So I'm looking forward to it. I think that we may even end up re-signing him or making a really good deal, and possibly picking up somebody. But with the salary cap and what we paid him and his age, because it's not like he's super young, if we can get him for the price he's at now and keep him, that would be freaking awesome. The funny thing is Saturday we had Victor Hedman, Nikita Kucherov, Braden Point, Mikhail Sergachev, and the Capitan himself, Steven Stamkos, all making their preseason debut. And all eyes were on Morella. This kid had a 3-point game. He had 2 goals and 1 assist. One of his goals ended up being the game-winning goal, actually. And he's just killing it. Tonight, he played really well, too. He's great puck handler. And like I said, he can score. And he's got great puck movement. So the game started with the Panthers scoring first in the first period. I'm sorry, the Predators. I said the Panthers. We're talking about the game this past Saturday against Nashville, which was at home. I don't believe I said that before, because I was too busy talking about the dang the Panthers. Now we're talking about the Predators. Too many P's out here, okay? But anyway, the Predators ended up scoring first in the first period. The Lightning started the second period down 1-0. They were also on the penalty kill. However, Hagel ended up burying a shorty to tie it up, which actually made it 2 shorty goals 2 games in a row for the Lightning, which is something that they haven't really, I don't want to say has been a weakness, because getting shorthanded goals, that's not necessarily a weakness if you're not getting them. It's more of a bonus, and we haven't had that bonus these past couple seasons. We don't have Gord, we don't have Matthew Joseph, we don't have Barclay Goodrow, those kind of penalty killers. This year we don't have Belmar. Me and Savage were actually talking about that tonight, because not only is he a penalty killer, but he's a face-off guy. He actually went to the Young ZP's team, Seattle, and hopefully he'll do great things there. I wish nothing but the best for Belmore. That guy, he's really a class act. He's a French guy who came over to the NHL, I want to say 2-3 years ago. Well, it had to be at least 3 years ago. And he played in the French league for a long time. But he's truly a class act, and I'm really sad we don't have him. Okay, that's more or less what I'm getting at. But I wanted to take a look at that Hagel shorty because it was freaking gnarly, dude. So let's check it out, shall we? So like I said, they started the period. As you can see, 1934 left in the second period, 20-minute periods. They started on the penalty kill, and I just want y'all to watch this. Hagel takes care of this whole thing himself. Oh, look at them wheels, boy! And finishes it on the backhand, and ends up eating one of the one of the bars, one of the posts. But yeah, pretty freaking sweet finish. He had the goalie sliding way into left field, which is awesome. I'm fast as fuck, boy. Yeah, I'm sure that's what he said. He whispered that into, who is that, Forsberg? Whispered that into his ear as he was out skating his ass. So yeah, that was an incredible goal. Super happy for baby Hagues there. But yeah, the Predators actually ended up tying it back up after we made a turnover in the O-zone. Austin Watson, as we were talking about him earlier, he ended up showing he can do more in fight. He ended up tying it up at the 8-12 mark of the second period. He scored on the far post after your boy Morella showed great patience, making a great pass to get his first point of the game. And that would be his first of 3 for that night. So the Preds actually ended up taking the lead again right after that to make it 3-2. And then Morella gets his first goal of the preseason by tipping a freaking missile by Victor Hedman that he slung toward the crease. So that made it a 3-3 game. And then Tampa Bay got their first lead of the game after learning one of the most valuable lessons in the NHL. Okay, I need you guys to listen closely. Okay, this is a very important lesson. Never, ever, ever leave Nikita Kucherov alone. Okay? If you do that, you're gonna end up like this. You know what? I'll let the video do the talking. Okay? Because I do have a video of this goal. And yeah, I can't do it justice with my words, so I'm just gonna let it play. Okay? And honestly, the true star of this whole play is Braden Point. Because this is light work for Nikita Kucherov. But Pointer not only digs it out, but ends up fighting off 2 guys to make the simple pass. And Kuch just freaking nails it. Like, why? We gotta play it one more time. Why? Why leave him that far open? I mean, literally every single one of their defenders. Let's pause it. They're all bunched up in this corner. Like, dude, this is one of the deadliest men in the league. What are you doing? Come on, Nashville. I mean, I don't expect much from you guys, but I expect more than that. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that happens. And, Then Barella gets his second goal after stealing the puck and taking it all the way himself. Kind of doing a little what Higgs did, but he actually made the steal. And the biggest thing about this entire play is he's fighting off the big-bodied Luke Shin. That is not a simple feat, as Lightning fans are familiar with. Luke Shin, his size and strength is not to be underestimated. That man is an animal. So this ended up being the game-winning goal. And I got a clip of that for you guys too. So let's take a look. Maybe. There we go. So he ends up doing a nice little poke check, takes it all the way. And like I said, Luke Shin is on his hips. And he still gets that shot off 5-hole. That's freaking... That's incredible. Like I said, this kid, he's going to be something special. And I look forward to seeing what he can do later on into the season. I'm hoping even more, you know? You heard it here first, folks. That's right. But, yeah, that's pretty much all I got for this week. I'm super excited to start talking about hockey with you guys. Like I said, it's going to be very, very, very Tampa Bay focused. But I want to keep it general. That's why I ended up naming the podcast Twig Talk and not something in relevance to Tampa Bay specifically, because I want to talk all things hockey. I want to look into some AHL stuff. I want to look into international stuff. If it suits the show. Like I said, a big thing we're gonna do is the fights. If there's good fights, that's gonna be a segment we're gonna throw on every week. If if we got a really sick shot, we're gonna play that. You know, a lot of highlights, a lot of just overall madness, because hockey is madness. Let's be honest. Rasta, what's up, dude? Thanks for joining. We're talking hockey tonight, dude. We're wrapping it up here. I figured the way I'm going to structure the show is I'm going to do more of the general stuff in the beginning and then close out the show with, you know, Lightning hockey, like I did tonight. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope it was entertaining in some aspects. And the special Lightning versus Kraken episode. Dude, I'm telling you, yeah, I'm totally open to having guests on the show. And you don't even have to necessarily be a huge hockey person to join. The young ZP, we gotta get the Seattle scoop, bro. So we need you to do some Seattle research and come hit me with it. And then we'll have you on the show. And Savage T, she says she's gonna come on and rate some flows. I love it. See, these are great ideas, you know? And you know, it's gonna be very free form. I took a lot of notes for this show. You could probably tell I was reading a lot, but I wasn't reading a lot, but there were certain stats and stuff I had pulled up. Just because, you know, I want to share that interesting stuff with you guys, especially, like I said, the Logan Cooley guy. I wanted to talk about him because like I said, that may be something one day. And I'm super excited about that. You're right. I don't know how I read your comment, the young ZP, but you're right. Well, that's gonna do it for tonight. You guys are freaking awesome. Thanks for popping in. And I'll see you guys next time. I'm gonna try and find somebody to raid out to. So if you'll stick with me for just a minute. And yeah, much love. Peace.
I'll die.
Rated R. Only in theaters Friday.
I couldn't put my hat and my leggings on.
What?